think you need to give it a go because ultimately you only know how good you can come when you actually have some structure to yourself. Understand why you're doing things is a lot. Me was a big part of the battle because I was doing stuff and I thought, why am I doing this? I didn't understand it. I think sometimes having somebody just get in touch with them again, right. But like I said, when my load wasn't quite matching up, you just thought, oh, well, this is why it's happening. Having that where you can talk to somebody
Mm.
or it's really important. And I think sometimes as well, I looked at it, I've invested in myself to do something, but then how I looked at it as well, you're investing your time in me as well. So I thought, well,
So if you've ever wondered what it's like to work with me within the Cycle Lean community, then in today's episode, I've had the pleasure of having a chat with one of my star clients in recent months. Mark has been working with me for the past 5 months to improve his health on and off the bike. And we have a really deep conversation about what it's like to work with me in the community, where he started from in terms of his cycling history and how he came to work with me in the first place, and what he's achieved over the past 5 months in terms of his cycling fitness and also his health off the bike as well, and how has it impacted his overall well-being and improved his lifestyle overall. So I'll let Mark take it from here. I hope you enjoy today's conversation with my client Mark. And if you've got any questions yourself about coaching, hopefully Mark will answer most of them for you. But if you do have any further queries and want some questions answered about the Cycle Lean community, then click the link in the description to this video and we'll happily answer them for you. Enjoy the show. Mark, if we can just let everybody know who you are and what you do for a living, first of all, just introduce yourself to everyone, if that's okay.
the name's Mark Evans. I install AV equipment, which is televisions and speaker systems around the homes.
Yeah. And what was your age, Mark, if you don't mind sharing that with us?
I'm now 52.
Excellent. And before working together, what was sort of your biggest challenge and frustration around cycling and health in terms of what you were aiming for?
To be honest, I was an on-off, almost a weekend warrior. I would sort of cycle on a Sunday, maybe it's on a Friday, sorry, on a Wednesday, and I had no sort of consistency. There was a number of times where I'd get an injury and I'd just not like the ball. At one point, it was like 9 months, didn't even touch it on. And I just wanted to get back to the stage where I enjoy cycling. And I was getting too many times when I was going out with my friends on a weekend and they would just leave me for dead. We went to the top of the hill for me, cycle back, and I'd be lifted at the back on the back of somebody's wheel, just trying to hang on to get home.
Yeah.
And they were literally having conversations, and I found that frustrating.
Yeah.
So I wanted to progress through the club as well. It's got like an A, B, and C, and I was a C minus rider at the time. So
Yeah.
just wanted to get better.
What were your sort of main struggles with fitness and nutrition around cycling and health before working together?
So I've always had a reasonably healthy diet, but I never sort of put sort of fueling or eating toward my cycling. I'd get in the morning and literally have a coffee and then set off. I wouldn't really sort of think about, I need to do this. And it was a bit difficult. Health wise, being generally a healthy person. Yeah. But I just got to a stage where when I turned 50, it sounds horrible, but I looked at my dad and I thought when he turned 50, I could see a progression. And he's like, he's now 75. And I thought when he was 50, he was a strong man. Obviously now he turned and I just wanted to I wanted to enjoy life. I felt that just gone through a divorce, which ran on for a long time. And I wanted to sort of enjoy what I could do and I wanted to be fit. I enjoyed cycling. And I thought, well, if I enjoy it, I can apply myself to it. But what I tried to do it myself, of being unfocused, I needed something to sort of draw me into, to have some sort of support there without being bombarded with things,
Yeah.
which I felt was, because when I first started off, I was like, cycling, you just down the bike and you spin your legs. There was a lot more to it than that. And I think that sort of like told yourself and sort of reading testimonials and thinking, this could be something that would help me become sort of more in tune with the cycling and actually the lifestyle that I will live. And really, that was the opportunity I saw to do what I needed to do, really. That makes sense.
Brilliant. And what was the sort of for you as well, like the tipping point that sort of made you reach out in terms of thinking enough is enough and I want to make some changes, or how did we sort of get in touch? I know we connected
Yeah.
through social media and had a chat as well.
Yeah.
Was there any sort of like turning points that you felt that you had to reach out at a certain point?
I think what it was is I'd spoken to a friend of mine in the club. I think one day we sort of put a B and a C ride together. And I said, and I just got talking to him and he happened to mention your name. And I thought, oh, right, okay. And it was just that I got to a stage where I thought, fit enough, I feel I'm strong enough, but I still can't keep these people.
Yeah.
And I want, because I always felt like I was following people's ride. Because everybody would go uphill and then I'd like crawl after them. And I felt felt guilty. But I really enjoyed fighting. And I want to feel like, not silly, but I've got a love your bike and want to feel like I deserve that bike as well.
Yeah.
So it was following people's rides because they were waiting for me and got a love your bike. Everybody always comments on how nice it is. And I thought, I want to deserve that bike. We get these people going out with these amazing bikes thinking, can't you deserve it? And I think that was the thing. And I just got to the stage where I want to push myself. I want to see how good and how strong it could go. And it's worked well. And I'm happy where I am. I still want to keep going, but I think now I've got the confidence now and the belief in myself now.
Yeah.
Sort of with this sort of like understanding the sort of the nutrition and sort of looking at the videos that you sent on the YouTube channel and thinking, well, that makes perfect sense. But until I'd sort of done the program at the start, getting bombarded with things, but it made sense and there's something I could understand without going, oh, you have to buy this, you have to buy that. And I'm like, well, just by simplifying what I'm doing and understanding why I'm doing it as well. Because I think sometimes people just do something and they don't understand why they're doing it. And I understand that not every program fit everybody, but it sort of grew into the program, if that makes sense as well. Definitely followed people's rides and wanted to enjoy my life better.
Yeah, I can relate to that definitely. It makes you want to sort of improve when you're always if you're being dropped all the time and
Yeah,
have to wait for you. It's just like, oh god, I can't keep doing this because they're going to want to not ride with me in the future or something.
yeah.
In groups and that's how it feels sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, I did a couple of small tips, and I'd sort of find a group with me, and then that group would leave me, and I'm like, it was difficult to say, even though these people didn't know me, they'd sort of back away for a little bit and they go, and you can feel looking at each other going, oh, we need to go.
Yeah.
And that was another one, sort of like, that was just, I don't know, sports thief. But yeah, it doesn't have as much now.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And was obviously a friend recommended me. Was there any other things that sort of led you down the path of working with me? Did you explore other options, other coaching options?
Do you know what? I'd tried, I'd sort of looked at sort of Trainer Road and Trainer Peaks, and I'd had a competition with another gentleman, and I'd done his program. I'd started his program, but I had an IT bound issue, and basically, like I say, I was off the bike for 9 months.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, paid for this, but his was more of a do this. And then I don't know, I seemed to get bombarded with things. And I was like, oh, it's just too much to sort of take in. And because the 9 months passed and I sort of signed up for it within a month or so, just couldn't do anything. So I'd tried something else before, but it didn't seem to work like I wanted it to work. So it just seemed it was a very generic sort of thing. This everybody does this little thing. That's your FTV, so do these now.
Yeah. And what specifically was different about my approach then in terms of how we structure things when you first came on board and how we've evolved?
It was more of a personal touch and sort of humane and human touch. Because when we had the sort of conversation and I sort of read, sort of following me on Facebook and seeing what you're putting out there, and it was talking about you as a person as well, sort of understand what your journey. Yeah, so I could relate to some of the things that you'd gone through, and I thought, well, if you can sort of teach yourself through this, then I'm going through a similar sort of thing. So there was a sort of bond that way. It's like, well, it seems very genuine and sort of down to earth instead of being very, I don't know, you just need to do this. You just need to do that. It was more, it felt, it felt just more personal. Just like, well, this makes more sense than actually just following a little graph or something, little thing. So, but like I say, it was nice that when I needed, so, I needed something and you were quite, you were responsive. And when I tried to reach out to this little guy, it was like a week later before he got back to me, he's like, this was, I did busy and things were down and so on and so forth. And so paying money for something. I don't expect only to do 24/7, but you get some sort of support. And
Yeah.
I just felt it was more of a personal touch than just to follow the numbers.
Yeah. Nice. Thanks very much. Did you also feel, there's a lot of programs out there that might be
Mm.
geared to, say, performance sort of base gains. Obviously, we
Yeah.
are trying to improve our performance on the bike, but
Mm.
we might be less, say, race focused and more from a, we're just trying to improve our own well-being on the and off the bike and just improve our PBs. We're not too fussed about podiums, where some programs
Yeah.
might gear towards the higher elite performance side of things.
Yeah. Mm. And I think that for me, talking to a colleague today, he's a UCI sort of judge. And he said, do you race? I went, no. I said, I know where I want to be. Racing's not what definitely going, sort of going out on a Sunday morning, sort of enjoying my ride and getting to look at the hill, got to go there. Yeah, I've got to the top of it. After the instrument, done it. Yes, the next time I do it, I do it a little bit faster. Might challenge the race, and even on Swift, I'm not done a race on Swift. I don't know if it's there fancies it, but don't get me wrong, if somebody wants to go up the hill fast, I'll follow them up. But yeah, it's not something that I just want to improve myself. I mean, I'm not bothered about racing side of it, sort of thing. So.
And do you think that was necessarily what attracted you as well to working with me within the cycle league community, because it was more geared around recreational cyclists like ourselves, as opposed to guys wanting to train for a race, for example?
I think it is because I mean, often we'll be out with the real cyclists, and you'll see them just sort of flying along the road and not talking to each other. And there's not that social side of it. And I think cycling is a very social thing. When I go past cyclists, I'm not ahead. And you'll see some of them out there, and they're just going past, and you're thinking, not about that. I didn't want that side of it. So, I think, like I say, this is why when my colleague recommended you, I sort of looked into YouTube videos, and I looked at sort of like what you'd be put on Facebook as well as then when I was in a conversation, I could see sort of, oh, actually, this is a very genuine person. He's not looking to sort of blow his own trumpet. He's not looking to sort of, you must do this and stuff this, and that made me a bit at ease, because often there's a elitism in cyclists
Yeah.
where you sort of, there's a certain bike shop in Harrogate I don't go into, because when you walk into, they look at you and go, yeah, you don't look like a typical sort of cyclist. You're not going to come in and spend 12 grand on a bike with us, so we're not going to bother you.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't go in.
Yeah. I definitely can relate to that. I can feel that sometimes. I think there is a community, especially in certain parts of cycling, where there's a sort of pockets of riders. If you're riding with a group and they might not be, you're not strong enough, they're just going to throw you out the back and go, you should go for Ramson. Right, so, they put you in your place pretty quickly. So,
Yeah.
So can you describe to everyone, Mark, your top goals when you started? What were sort of the top 2 or 3 goals that you had prior to working?
I think I wanted to improve my FTP. So, well, that was important to me at the start. So the more I put out, the better I am. And I think sort of understanding why I was doing things, because often I didn't understand why I was sort of doing certain things. Why am I doing VO2 max? Why am I doing intervals for under and overs and all these sort of things, and to understand the process. And I think, I mean, I wasn't a big person, but I just felt that I needed to lose a little bit of weight just to sort of be better in myself as well, not just in cycling terms, but just in myself as a person. I actually lost, I'm not 6 kilograms, I think, really, when I look at where I was when I first started. Over Christmas, I put a little bit back on, but I've gone back down to where I want to be. And I think now I'm in a sort of a good, sensible way with that. You're feeling a need to lose more weight. I had so many compliments from clients that I've known years, sort of friends and family have all sort of noticed it. And it's sort of like, not, and it's all just by following sort of the simple things, like eating well, sort of feeling well for your eye, but not going over the top of things. And so I think it's just it's not just about the cycling side of it, this sort of the well-being and sort of the marital. I mean, I deal with some very interesting people, and often when you get home, you're thinking, for the love of God, and just sometimes to go on the bike and just get out and go, well, it is what it is. So I say I'm a more rounded, because at one point I was getting quite, it was just stressful. You're doing your best for somebody, but it wasn't good enough, and I'd come home and go, beat myself up about it. But now I'm like, actually, what? Yeah, don't want to come. There's no point beating myself up about it. I feel better in that way as a sort of just a rounded individual. So I think about loads more clothes now as well as skin terrible. None of my trousers fit me. Like, really?
It's a good headache to have, though. You obviously can get some nice new clothes for the summer months.
Yeah.
It's good. And would you say the cycling itself has really benefited your mental well-being as well, and having more freedom to like manage stresses that you're experiencing there?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, it's amazing, sort of like, you go out and sort of at home off immediately, just space. Because at one point I'd get on the bike and I'd worry, can I keep up with everybody? Oh, I'm not going to be knackered, and then never when I get to the back of it. Oh, can I do this? And now when I go out, I'm talking about the football, the elite support. So I might start talking about just the weather. I might be talking about anything else. I'm not worrying about, can I keep up with them? Can I get to the top of this hill? Have I got enough gears? Have I got enough fuel? And so now I'm enjoying the ride. I'm looking at the weather, the scenery, sort of watching out for the big potholes and all these sort of things. So I'm enjoying it more because I'm not thinking about the negative side of sort of cycling, like think about as well. So it should make them to enjoy it as you should really.
Do you saying that before working together, you had that like little bit of anxiety that whether you're going to keep up before you went out on a run?
Yeah.
Had to do it.
And go out and think, right, okay, then who's that today? And I go, right, no, he's fast. Oh, she's fast. And I would like running period. And there was rides when I first started going out, was where we'd go out and I'd get to a bar and we'd go, right, hold it up.
Yeah.
And then they'd like say, all right, you shoot and get home, all right. And the other days.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes now they say, oh, you're going to wait for us when you get to the top of the hill. Not with everybody, but a lot of the people that were leaving me now are not after me anymore. So it's just not. I mean, I don't sort of blow my trumpet, but they just sort of didn't see the sort of the improvement. We've been having a competition with the guy today, and he's sort of like, I think he goes in around his FTP. Sort of, well, he's not FTP, but his average sort of power when he goes out is like 280s. We're talking about doing the beast next year, which is 200 miles, 18,000 foot climb, and he's in, yeah, I'll have to carry him up the hill.
Yeah.
It's just nice to have that sort of confidence a bit. Yeah, it's a bit bad because he's a good cyclist, but now it's like, yeah, we're together, we can do that. And it's like, I'm always in a bit more mutual state.
Yeah.
Just seeing me as always as an equal now instead of sort of maybe pulling us back again. But it's quite nice.
It's good. I suppose that's one of the things probably a lot of people don't always think about in terms of that mental stress of, when you join a cycling club, am I going to be being able to keep with them and increasing that fitness? Also, you forget sometimes, I suppose, because you just end up enjoying the sport so much more with the group, that probably that anxiety as well that you might have had probably will impact your performance as well. So the more relaxed you are on the bike,
definitely,
less you're going to be under, you're going to be calmer at how you climb, and you're probably not going to be as erratic in terms of your pacing and stuff like that. So that's probably all been impacted with the increase in fitness as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, at one point I'd sort of go out and I'd come back and shoulders would ache, my neck would be aching. But now, sort of, even when it's sort of a long climb, I can almost go back, start again, and just refocus, and it just sort of ticks over again.
Yeah.
Real,
That's brilliant.
learn to try.
Yeah. Brilliant. So where is your fitness and nutrition now since working together? So we've been working together about 5 months. So
Mm.
where would you put yourself now in comparison to where you started from?
Well, like they've lost 5, 6 kilos. I'm not particularly lost. I'm not particularly eating like I used to. I did a sportif just 2 or 3 weeks ago, the London Yorkshire one. After 58 minutes of my time. That actually traveling time as well. I actually took longer off because when I looked at my time of stops, when I did it first time, I had a lot longer stop. This time I had like 20 minutes of stops. So it was like literally in, tower grade, fill up, go.
Yeah.
And obviously traffic lights and such forth. Yes, I understand summer bike, winter bike, and weather, but that's not going to make an hour's difference. When I looked at the weather impact of last year, the weather impact of last year was actually 5%. This year, 4%. So it was like 1% different.
Yeah.
So it's made a huge difference. Even now, I did another sport piece, and I think I was 48 minutes faster. It was a similar sort of weather as well. Again, so that was next one, 19th of May, is going to be interesting because that's the two of the peaks. So we'll see. But that'll probably be the truest reflection because there'll be silver bikes, for a bike. That's who I am. Unless some horrible with its past, almost
Right.
name two.
Biggest cost, the weather's kind as well.
Ladies,
That's
good weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Man. Oh, that's brilliant, Mark. It's so good. And also, can you list any other achievements that you feel are noteworthy from investing in the program?
I think the biggest one is probably understanding why you do what you do, understanding obviously the nutrition side of it, and understanding actually you don't have to starve yourself to lose weight. Because obviously I thought, well, if I don't eat, then I'll lose weight. But then actually, no, you need to eat to fuel to ride well. So it was a good understanding of actually nutrition, fueling, and actually doing this. I mean, in the strengthening, I mean, obviously, like I said to you before, I haven't done as much lately, but actually doing that strengthening, when I had had a bike fit, he said, actually, what you've done is actually now amended your bike fit because now you can do the seat a little bit higher. He said we can go lower at the front than me or more aerodynamic. So your CDA will improve. And he said, does the overall sort of shape. He said, you're not sort of hunched over the bars. You're not sort of a weird shape, as he called it. So they don't say that, but he said, now you look more of a natural cyclist. So that was during like sort of the strengthening that and the sort of the original sort of lean program, which helped me as well. It's it was good to do something like that. So you stretch and you do things like this, and then I thought about actually strengthening to sort of and to be honest, that's probably helped with my job because my job's is a very physical job
Yeah.
where I'm sort of balancing and sort of carrying TVs and putting them on the walls and sort of loading things into the back of the van, such forth, and everything's been just I don't know, it's been easier, not as much stressful. I suppose that's sort of then still.
You said when you had the bike fit, because of the increase in mobility you've had within your muscle mass and
Yeah,
obviously the flexibility on the bike is
yeah,
so you can have more of an aggressive riding position. Is that right?
yeah. So with my feet went up, I think it went up, I said about 12 or 13 mil, and the bars went down 5 mil. And he said, look, you sort of, you're a more natural shape on the bike instead of being more right. He said, well, you were very, well, that now we've got you still in a nice shape, your back arching correctly. Obviously, my leg haven't got longer, but he said, your mobility's improved. So now, because that's improved,
Yeah.
obviously, then raise the seat. So now when I'm putting power down, I'm not just using the thighs, I'm using the glutes, getting my calves. He said, you're incorporating more muscle and then actually just doing your thighs.
So you're basically what you're saying is your efficiency with
Yeah,
in your pedal stroke has improved because obviously you're not just focusing on one muscle group to power you,
Yeah,
engaging
yeah.
the hamstrings more. Yeah.
And my cadence has gone up as well. Now my cadence is the average of like low 70s, now it's gone towards mid 80s. But I don't feel I'm doing anything different. And then when I'm on the Swift, it's more sort of mid 90s as well. So all that is just by doing a bit of everything probably, but everything's sort of gone in the right direction. So
Yeah.
obviously if you're pedaling quicker, you're not then building the acid as much, and you then muscles recover quickly, so you can then fight a little bit harder, longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's fantastic. And also, how would you say like this impacted you on a daily basis, like off the bike as well? Anything change, particularly off the bike? I know you've alluded to it and touched on it a little bit as we've gone through the conversation.
I think it's just, to be honest, because it sort of helped me sort of de-stress a bit, not only the anxiety, but about getting stressed about clients and such forth, and just feeling better myself up completely. I do a lot of driving, so I can be sat in the van quite easy, 3, 4, 5 hours of driving, and found that was quite. I don't seem to get as that particular rain nowadays, so it just seems to be more rounded. And I'm thinking, because at one point when I was in the van, I did, just dip into this shop and get a chocolate bar, nibble and just get a McDonald's. I'm just trying to pass this, and now I'm thinking more, actually, wow, let me take some fruit, let me take an apple, and I'm sort of looking at that particular. So I think just everything really just so no, I'm not thinking about that thing. I'm just happening naturally. Now I'm drinking more water with lemon and chia seeds in it for that. So I'm keeping hydrated. I'm thinking about sort of things like my coffee. I still have my coffees, but alcohol, the desire's not there anymore. I'll have a couple of glasses of wine for a weekend sort of thing. But I mean, people have commented like, say, I'm looking better. People have also said that you just seem more relaxed or distressed. And don't think it, and I've not made a conscious effort to feel anything different. So I don't know if it's just that everything seems to be working better, feeling healthier, lost weight, enjoy my cycling more. And if I do get a little bit anxiety and well, jump on the trainer, go on the trainer, breakfast in the morning, and that's sort of almost sort of it stops the stress, doesn't it? Because I've already done my workout. I feel good.
Yeah.
That was a hot session. And no matter what somebody does me that day, I'm going, what? I've been reviving my feet, trying to pull out 15 more, like 4 minutes. So what you're giving me now is not good. My legs are spinning it, but
That's brilliant.
there's always remembering that pain that you had in the morning.
Yeah. And the hard bit's done in the morning first, and then the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's quite good because I sort of lead a Wednesday night ride for the sea guys, and it's sort of quite nice because now they sort of see what I've improved. So like with the sea group, I mean, they're just a couple of lads that cycle once a week literally, and now I found we've gone from like average speeds of like 12 and 13, and now in towards 15 and 16. And I'm not doing anything particular well. I'm just sort of coaxing them along a bit more, and they're sort of coming with me as well, which is quite nice because they're like, oh, what have you done this week then? Oh, you've done a lot of mileage on the Swift today. Oh, you did a big ride last week and all this. And it's quite nice to then sort of engaging more instead of at one point it would be it was literally, we just need a basket on the front with the flowers. But now we're all like, yeah, okay, it's quite nice now. The people that are coming out of the wings and it's sort of more, they seem to enjoy it more as well. I don't know, we have a bit of a banter about a bit of everything really, which is quite nice. It's sort of, like I say, I'm getting that mutual respect from the guys who could literally obliterate me in place of like 100 foot.
Yeah.
And now the sort of guys behind me now sort of seeing what I've done. And it's almost like, well, I remember Mark when he was sort of put along with us at the back, and now he's leading us and he sort of, oh, good faster. And it's quite nice that the people are now getting a couple of PDs themselves. They're like, oh, it's quite nice little scenes for that.
That's just what's the best thing about cycling, isn't it? with a bunch of people, and you see them improve, and then that inspires you and
Yeah,
someone else, and collectively, especially if you've got a tight knit people that you ride with quite regularly, and you have people sort of
yeah,
improving, you're just always sort of pushing each other and encouraging each other, and feeds into each other's performance, doesn't it? So yeah,
yeah. But it's a social thing for myself. Like I
yeah,
said, that's why I'm not bothered about the training side of it, but I think the social side of it, just I'm enjoying it.
Well,
And it, no matter, fact that never gets easy because ultimately the faster you can go, the harder you push yourself.
yeah,
The quicker you want to go that hill, the quicker you want to go down that hill, you're always going to be, it's never going to get easy, irrespective of how good you are. You
yeah.
just push yourself a little bit harder. So,
I suppose, like you alluded to before, when you do the sportifs now compared to like last year, even though
yeah,
you're hard, you probably enjoyed it more because you were fitter. It wasn't as painful. Like if you hadn't done any training for it and you done it, it'd
yeah,
probably be a torture fest. But
yeah,
if you are, the more you can kind of maybe enjoy it a little bit more
yeah.
in spells.
I mean, it was quite nice when the last sportif. There's a hill at the end, 3.3, 4.5 miles long. And I can't tell you how much I hated it. And forget about all the hills and stuff like 11,000 foot plan I did before it. That was the hill I hated most. But it was just so nice to get to the top of that hill because it was getting battered by wind. And I had 15 miles to go, or whatever it was, 30 miles to go. And it just like, smile on my face. I literally just found this. That's it. I just come out, just starting now. My sort of legs just felt, that's it. That's the last one. And it was just so nice to sort of really enjoy it and sort of work with around because it just went flat. And it was just good. I enjoyed it, sort of like getting to the end and going, looking down and going, wow, 108 miles and just over 7 hours, 32 minutes or something. And I thought, I'm happy with that. Just see how it goes next one.
Yeah, that's good. That's brilliant. Yeah. And what would you say to anyone thinking about reaching out to me for some coaching, but maybe is a little bit hesitant on the fence still sort of unsure about things? What would you sort of say to them?
I think you need to give it a go because ultimately you only know how good you can come when you actually have some sort of structure to yourself. Understanding why you're doing things is a lot. Me was a big part of the battle because I was doing stuff and I thought, why am I doing this? I didn't understand it. I think sometimes having somebody just get in touch with them again, right. But like I said, when my load wasn't quite matching up, you just thought, oh, well, this is why it's happening. Having that where you can talk to somebody
Mm.
or it's really important. And I think sometimes as well, I looked at this, I've invested in myself to do something, but then how I looked at it as well, you're investing your time in me as well. So I thought, well, a lot of the time I've got, I couldn't bother today. Well, he's put this program together for me. I
Yeah.
want to do this as well. So it wasn't just for me, but like, well, it's really why I'm doing it. You've explained to why I'm doing it. I understand it now. It's almost like I didn't want to let you down as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was like a bit of a cliche. Like, well, I'll bother to do it. If I nearly been up at 4:30 this morning, I think it's now. And it was sort of quite that sort of thing where I think if I look at where I was and where I am now, there's a massive improvement. Like I say, my FTP, if you go by that app, is gone up sort of almost 60 watt, if not more.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I don't think I've done other courses that haven't done the same thing. I haven't had that improvement.
Mm.
I haven't felt like I've got that out of them, out of this one. Felt like I've got a lot more.
Yeah.
You understand things like taking the pictures, sort of having a diary, and all these sort of things help me. Because occasionally I'd go, "Am I really? Do I really look that much better?" And you flick through the last couple of months and you go, "Bloody hell, yeah!" And it'd be quite nice. And you're pretty teeth out every day. You don't see it yourself.
Yeah.
So all these just little things are sort of like, well, if you do this, that could help that. If you do this, this helps that. If you do that, that helps that. And it was understanding the process as well. Because I think often we just all get head up on numbers.
Yeah.
Or you need to have FTP this, or you have to be 3 kilowatt, 3 watts per kilogram and all this. Sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes it's about just doing what you can, but having some sort of thought process behind it. I think if you don't becomes very addictive. And I think when you enjoy something, you should give it your 100%. And until you try something like this, you don't really know how far you can push it. I mean, I'm seeing this now. This is the beginner of my journey because where I've gone from and where I am now is massive.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, how far can I push myself? How much more can I do? And
Yeah.
I'm now going to think, right, this is something I've got to sort of take on myself. I understand the process. Now I need to look at how far I can go. And I think, and if I hadn't done this course, then I would have definitely not lost the 6 kilograms. I wouldn't have had all these comments on these people sort of like how toned, how look and how healthy I feel and how people have responded to me as a person. And I wouldn't be enjoying my cycling, but don't get me wrong, they'll get up when it's past. It's not an interesting, not a nice ride, but when I get to the top, that's entail. These sort of things where you think, what? It's always going to be pain.
Yeah.
Cycling. But now I understand sort of all about just all these different things and just put them all together and it just certainly seems to work a lot better than I could possibly hope for us where I am.
That's brilliant, man. And do you feel like as it coming to the end of the program that you've been sort of given the tools to reach those heights that you're aiming for again on your own? Because obviously we've gone through so much, and the whole
Yeah.
idea of the program is to really sort of educate my clients and support you in as much way as possible. Because ultimately, it's like having a driving instructor. You're going to pass your test,
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And you to be able to sort of go off and explore and have that opportunity on your own. You don't always need someone holding your hand all the time. So do you feel that's sort of
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's almost a perfect analogy for those. You only start learning when you start doing it yourself, don't you, sort of thing. So, but I think now, like I say, you've given me the sort of, and it's not just that, it's the confidence to actually just sort of go off and try myself. Because ultimately, some people say, right, no, you have to stay with me for like ever because you're never going to get any better. But you've still given me this belief and understanding and the tool, the knowledge of actually, well, this is what you can do. This is how you can do it. And so it's not as if I should imagine if I've got a question in a couple of time, I go, oh, I could reach out to you. I know you're not going to go, oh no, you can't talk to me anymore. That's it. And that thing, that's the realism of actually sort of the program done. And I think one of the reasons why I sort of chose this over the millions that are out there, seem to be out there, it was more of a real person sort of, I know it wasn't a purely a one, but it was very personal.
yeah,
It wasn't as if, right, that's it. I'll send you a sort of quick message. That's it. Going to see me when we were having a chat on the Tuesday night ride. That's really, that was great. It
yeah,
was just nice to touch base with everybody. So yeah, I don't think I would have sort of said, right, I sort of need to, if I didn't feel like it sort of continued going on and sort of learning and sort of pushing myself because that's, I'm not going to stop because I'm thinking now, do I want to do the beast next year? Can I do it? How can I now improve? Still not worth the bike yet, but give me a couple more months, I might be worth the bike.
I'm sure you're just playing that down like more than worth it. The performances you're putting in now. And I think it's what's really nice to hear as well, because I think for me, with coaching people, is to feel like I can educate people to be able to have the tools to manage their health on and off the bike in the long run.
Yeah.
I think, you know, always feel like, I suppose, with the job you've done, you probably had maybe some form of training, but eventually you're going to have to be on your own doing it. You can't
Yeah.
just have someone there by your side all the time. So I think how it should really be evolving in terms of how with their health on and off the bike, isn't it? Because you have to be sort of, you can pass
Oh
the
yeah. You have to be.
people, and you're already inspiring other people as well from, you know, what you've already done
Yeah.
as well.
So I think that's the thing. I think it's very easy to sort of get sucked into this sort of where you just rely on other people to sort of hand feed you and sort of drag you along. But with this program, I suppose sort of you're giving me a chance to understand what I need to be doing or what I need to be doing as well. And it's sort of like right out. So I was relatively good eater, but then I thought, well, a couple of sort of changes in my diet, look at sort of different things of sort of, well, instead of having that, I can do this instead. And looking at losing weight, well, I have to do just completely having a massive calorie deficit because I mean, I think one of my rides is something like 7,000 calories to calculate that I'd use that particular day. So if I only take 2,000 calories in and use 7,000 calories, I'm not going to perform very well. So it was these little things to understand because I would do rides and not sort of chew properly and think about what I need to do on the run up towards the couple of days beforehand. And it was really enlightening and without being really complicated because sometimes people talk to you about cycling and I'm going, just glaze over, go, don't understand any of that. But it was in a way where it actually makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And sort of, it was good to be able to do that. It was accessible without having to be sort of, I don't know, I'm not the kind of guy in the world, but yeah, if I understand it, then I think anybody else can understand it and it's easy enough to follow. And not just about following it, it's actually it's easy to continue following without making, oh, I've got to go doing this, I've got to do that. No, actually, it's really easy, really good. We'd have to spend hours doing this and that, but and that's the thing that an easy way to sort of look at things. If it's easy to, quick and easy to do, then it's easy to follow. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Because nowadays, there's lots of fads and crazes out there where people say, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that," and thinking, "Oh, I've followed what you asked me to do. I've enjoyed it. I feel better about myself. Feel better, stronger. I've lost weight, but I don't feel like I'm actually to the stage where, oh, you know, thin. I haven't had that yet. Finally, like the true cyclist when your mum says, "Oh, you're looking very thin." I haven't had that, man. It's a good thing. So.
Yeah. I suppose unless you're trying to be a Tour de France cyclist, then,
Yeah.
right. There's no need for that. Yeah, it's good. And finally, much a couple more questions, Mark, like before we leave you. How would you sort of personally like the service to evolve and improve going forward? Do you have any sort of feedback on certain things that you would like to improve on going forward as well?
I'd like the phones. I'm not a writing person. I'm more of a talky person, which is big. Obviously you can tell now the talky person. But the forms I struggled out sometimes. So saying something where I was like, don't know what to say or how to say it. Love the accessibility and the the straightforwardness of it without being complicated. Like I say, I've done a couple of the training programs in the past and I don't understand this or why. I think the personal touch is the biggest thing for me because I think when you've got somebody you can sort of reach out to and talk to and help sort of grasp things, then it makes it easier to yourself. I really enjoyed the Tuesday night rides. I know it was difficult because obviously in Swift they have all these different things and all that, but I think that was I really enjoyed that because you talk to people who go through the same experiences yourself.
Yeah.
And I understand obviously people had other things they wanted to do, but I think if that could be reintroduced in some way, because when you talk to somebody, and it's quite nice because we had that little camaraderie where Michael would go up the hill, and then somebody would draft behind us and nip us both by probably 1 of a second or something, and then we'd like, oh yeah, okay, I was in. And that was good, but we're all doing the same thing, but then it was a nice conversation we had. How was your week?
Yeah.
What we're doing? And people say, try different things. Oh, they do this, they do that. And I really enjoyed that side of it, which made almost a social ride out and about, but actually on Zwift, which was a lovely touch, actually. So, But
and those hours did go very quickly as well when we're having a good
did really
catching up, chatting about football and stuff and all different things, just like you would do on a normal ride as well, which is really good. Yeah, brilliant. And anything else you'd like to add that we haven't sort of covered that you feel you would like to share?
I think the thing I can probably say most of all, I think it's worked for me, and I should imagine if it would work for me and people are willing to put in a bit of commitment themselves, it'll work for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think what I've learned is ultimately you get out what you put into it. But the nice side, like I can't say the personal touches, it made a difference for me. I wasn't looking at just numbers. It was just it worked really well. And with the vision putting it for me what I'm achieving now. And I think when he's got doubts about it, I think, well, just look at my journey and where I've started. I mean, I wasn't even just over, actually. I think technically my first ride was put on Twitch 5 years ago on the 1st of May. So 5 years. And out of those 5 years, I've probably consistently cycled in the last year more now. But since I've started this, I am cycling on a regular basis and I'm understanding my body more. I understand that I need to rest from the fatigue and understanding instead of just getting on there and being a weekend warrior, which doesn't work if you want to improve or enjoy cycling properly, because ultimately I think when I've been going out and getting left, that just added to my anxieties and I didn't enjoy it because I felt big spoilery. But
Yeah.
doing what I've done in the last 5 months and seeing how I've been doing, not just in cycling, but as a person, because actually you're better at everything creating, just sort of, I am on the bad day and I go, well, nothing of big 15 on there. Was good to play that league, but now I don't know. It's difficult to say because often people don't appreciate how sort of cycling can release anxiety and you can it's enjoyable. I have to say, I'll get people I work in AV, and I'll have to say to people when they're talking about, well, what makes your sort of music system better than everybody else's? Well, music is very emotive.
Yeah.
If you want to sit down and you want to listen to your favorite song, if I put this song up for you now, you listen to the speakers, you'll hear details that you didn't hear before.
Yeah.
And I'll sit there and I'll go, right, tell me your song, and I'll put it on and go, and you can see them literally light up. And they'll go, wow,
Yeah.
I did not realize that was there. I'm hearing things I didn't hear that. And I think that same cycling, if you don't realize what you can achieve yourself and how you can enjoy it without being a slog or pushing yourself for that, I just think something like this gives the opportunity to maybe just peak above where you are and go, I can do this better. I can do this. I can enjoy this more. And like I said before, cycling never gets easy because ultimately, the faster you get, the better you get, the quicker you want to go.
Yeah.
And I think just having that bit of knowledge and that bit of support and that bit of understanding of what you're doing just makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And after Barry, when you get on that hill, you're like, oh, this is 12. But when you get to that top and you think, wow, done that. And then when you do it again and you get faster again and again and again, you're like, wow, this is what I want. Yeah. It is. And
More of it, it's like a drug. Yeah. No, that's
it's
true.
it.
Good.
You know, we do it and it's like, and then when you've done something, I mean, you do something wrong, then you do it again. And then it's like, your whole sort of aspect of sort of, I look at when I have a good ride, there's very little that can knock me off my stride the next couple of days. When I did that sportive on that Sunday, so on that Saturday, even though we then did a club ride reliability and they tried to kill me by doing 20 miles an hour for 60 miles, it did not really take, but got back home and I still smiling because I thought, well, they tried to kill me and it didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
They weren't far off. I think if it'd been 55 miles, it might have got me, but
Yeah.
they tried the damnedest sort of, they would take turns at the front.
Yeah.
You know, I was sitting on their back wheel trying to keep up with them and they were like, oh, I'm paid. And they would just like drag me along. But it just, that's just figure into the outcome, that far I've come and so I can do. And so, and I think a lot of that's down to doing this course because if I hadn't done that course, would have been about 5 miles back. You look at me on.
Well, I mean, I did see that ride on Strava the day after you did the sportive, and I was like, "Oh, you just have a day off and just relax." I would have been knackered after that. I just would have put my feet up. But good on you for getting out and digging in and
18 for 8, I think we had done all that over 60 miles. And we were literally taking turns at the front, sort of. And there wasn't much climbing in it, but there was a little bit of.
Well, there's still a lot of fatigue in your body from the day.
But yeah.
So yeah, no, that's brilliant. Mark, I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure for working with you and getting to know you, and I really appreciate all your feedback. And I know we've like how we've sort of been trying to change things over the summer with classes and stuff. And I think the Swift rides is something we're going to definitely bring back in the winter. I think more people might be getting out in
Yeah.
the summer months and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely something we're still going to have as within the community that you're involved in our free community, as well as the pay community, so we can still catch up and get some rides going.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
In the future. And I think as well, based on your feedback of the forums, that's a few other comments that other people had. So what we've tried to do is with that is have more like a video response. You can record a Loom video, maybe explaining your answers verbally, having to write them, and you can write one week and then the other week you can just kind of go over them and expand on them. Way a little bit more personal, me giving the feedback that way, and also them more clients in the future giving the feedback, because obviously coaching online, want to keep it as personal as possible, even though
Of course,
you live up in Yorkshire and up in London, so you can try to keep that connection going as much as possible. So
I've enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it, and I'm really, really happy where I am. Thanks to them, like I say, go forward, obviously.
That's brilliant. I'm really pleased with how far you've come as well, Mike. That's my goal for every client at the start, is getting the best out of you and hopefully making you realize the full potential you've got and see the progression you've made. See the improvements coming in and your weight's come down and been a steady decline and fitness and improvement just fills me with joy, because that's all I want for my clients. Best. And being a star student, you worked hard, dedicated yourself, and you get the results from it as well, which is down to you for putting all the hard work in. So
well, it exceeded expectations, to be honest. Where I thought I'd actually be when I spoke to one of my colleagues that ride with you, when I was saying I'm at 78.5 and sort of bouncing around there. When I get down to sort of like 70, 71, he said, "You just laughed at me." You went, "No, you won't. I'm 70, bouncing on 72 is thereabouts." And he's still where he was when I spoke to him all 10 months ago. So now he's going, interesting. Now, hopefully, now we've got the nice weather coming. And then, nice.
Just at the right time. You put in the training over the winter months when it's less noticeable, but now you've got the time to enjoy it when it's going to be sun on your back and dry roads and line up the climb. So it'll be good.
The winter miles, summer miles or something, I think they say. Oh, definitely. Looking for us.
Brilliant. Mark, I'll leave you to the rest of the evening, but thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate you jumping on and getting to know how you've been getting on. It's been a real pleasure working with you over the last 5 months, which is fantastic. You're more than welcome. Obviously, we still keep you in the free community, and that's going to be sort of engaging and
that's good
as well. And then once we get the Swift rides going again, maybe towards the end of the summer, when people start hibernate again, we'll try and get those back up every Tuesday again, and hopefully
that'll be good.
Build the community and get more people involved as well, which should be.
Hopefully, we'll be in Champions League next year.
You were more than we were on with cars. They're putting all United's players on for sale.
Well, you got to sell your squad, aren't you? So
they're
replaying it.
I know, I mean, it's going to be interesting summer, and if they do, how many they do sell and who stays. So
All right then.
Good. Mark,
Look,
nice with you, Sportif, as well, going forward.
Thank
And
you.
if you need anything as well, like I said, you can always reach out to me at any point. Ask me any questions. Don't ever feel I'm afraid to do so if you want to.
Okay, Okay, great.
All right.
All right.
All right. Cheers, Mike. Thanks for seeing you.